guys, welcome to MoonChild Serendipity Tarot. So we continue today with the one-on-one relationship readings for BTS's members. I believe we only have 3 pairs left, so yay, almost there. Yeah, just the usual warning. This is not about ship. I'm only looking at the energetic connections and exchanges between 2 people and 2 souls. I don't cherry pick the card nor sugarcoat anything, so I will tell you everything I can from the cards. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's pick out 1 pair. And this is gonna be the 19th one that we're doing. So we've got Namjoon, so the leader on the magnet, Namjoon and Jungkook, RM and Jungkook. I really adore this pair because Jungkook always says that Namjoon is his first and his forever role model. Was that? So yeah, it will be interesting, and they are quite similar as well. Like they are both Virgo boys. So it will be very interesting to me personally as well to look at these connections. So I'm gonna be using this one on the overall energy of their connection. Then I'm using this one on Namjoon's perspective, and this one's gonna be on Jungkook's perspective, right? Yeah, I will insert the spread explaining how this reading works. But now we're looking at the overall connection, the overall energy of their connections. So past, present, and future energies. We're gonna try to see if I can't talk today. We're gonna try to see how it started out for them and how it has been going up until this point, and where is this connection, this relationship is going in the future. So between Namjoon and Jungkook. So now we're looking at the past energy of this. Wow, that's way too many. So we're looking at the past energy of the connection between Namjoon and Jungkook. Right. Interesting. So we've got this is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. It's interesting. It's a earth element. So yeah, they both Virgo. That makes sense. So with the Queen of Pentacles, I felt like and it also is in reverse. So I feel like at the beginning. I'm picking up mostly like Namjoon's perspective from this, but I think it could apply to both of them, because when they first met, Jungkook was very young, and it was just starting to explore his potentials and his talents, and I felt like at the start, Namjoon kind of saw it all, and he saw a lot of potential in Jungkook, but he only stopped at observing this potential in Jungkook, and I felt like at first there could be a little bit of like awkwardness between them, and like a bit of distance. It was like they spent the first probably couple of months just observing each other and like testing out the water, getting to know the atmosphere before they really kind of like talk to each other, because I felt like Namjoon was kind of looking after Jungkook as well, but he didn't, like, he did it from a distance. So yeah, at first they were just like looking at each other from a distance, but while Namjoon was looking at Jungkook, was like he really liked so much potentials and possibilities and talents in Jungkook, and he was just kind of thinking whether he can help whether he could help with the growth of Jungkook in this career or like in the future. I don't know. He was just looking at the growth potential of Jungkook, and also like in Namjoon's eyes, I think Jungkook was like really young and it needs a lot of guidance. And I felt like when I can look at this card, because she was looking at her craft, and because the craft right beneath her was like kind of small and fragile, like in weak kind of way. So I felt like when Namjoon was looking at Jungkook, he felt like at first, he felt like Jungkook it would not be easy for Jungkook to survive in this career because he was too sensitive. I was too naive in a way, and like too. It was too easy for him to get hurt. That's how Namjoon felt at first when he first got to know Jungkook. And I also felt like the initial distance between them was because Jungkook was looking up at Namjoon a lot. So and he was a very shy little boy. So I guess it was kind of hard for him to approach Namjoon in a way. Yeah, but that was just like the beginning. From this, I sensed like it warmed up between them pretty quick. Like it's really it only takes a few weeks or probably a few months for them to warm up to each other. Yeah, it was like at first they would keep a pretty like not like a cold face, but they would keep a proper and polite attitude to each other, but it wasn't anything like it was friendly enough, but it's not like really friendly, you know what I mean? Like it was just proper and polite and was what is expected of you in a social context at first for like a few months or a few weeks. Just for them to observe each other and to get to know each other, and then but then they like deep down inside they really they kind of like started caring for each other quite early. Like it would, I think I would say they kind of hit the emotions at first, yeah, but then it didn't take too long for them to get closer. So now we're looking at the current energy to see how is the relationship between Namjoon and Jungkook going at the moment. How is their connection at the moment? It's way too many cards. Okay. Whew. It took a while to get this card. Okay, so now we've got 3 of Wands, which is very nice in upright position, and we've got 9 of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so I felt like this 9 of Wands in the reverse and the 3 of Wands, like now they work really well as a team, and like they really understand each other, and they kind of like they developed in a different directions and different ways. Like they pursued different, I would say, styles and genre, or like different interests in terms of music and career, and also like just personal interest. They have different what do you say, they would like to go in different directions. They have different personalities and all that. But then yeah, they work very well as a team to achieve whatever it is that they set out to achieve with BTS in their career, and also like they respect each other. They respect each other's choices as well, and they're also very supportive of each other's choices. And also like with this Night at Once, I felt like this would be Jungkook here because he's like the younger one, but it gives me the vibe that Namjoon is very encouraging, and he encouraged Jungkook to try out like different things that he wants to do, and he's very supportive of Jungkook doing different things, making different, having different options and going in different ways. Namjoon is very supportive and very encouraging in that sense, but it felt like he gives Jungkook all the freedom he can have to do whatever it is that he wants, but it's actually like Namjoon keeps a very close eyes on Jungkook just to make sure that he doesn't go off on the track, kind of thing, like go off the track. Yeah, so he's like he's really protective of Jungkook, I would say, but not that he show it, but he kind of like he's watching from afar, and it's like he makes sure that everything's going alright for Jungkook, and he makes sure that if Jungkook needs to turn around or needs someone there to assure him or to encourage him, Namjoon would be the first one there for him. No, probably not the first, but Namjoon would run to him, kind of. But yeah, but to Jungkook, he would feel like Namjoon gives him all the freedom and all the encouragement and all the support he would need to find out what it is that he wants and what it is that he's really good at. Because I feel like Jungkook is building his own personalities, and he's building his own style, like finding out his color, his yeah, he's kind of like painting his palette, not palette, his canvas. He kind of like mixing and trying out to find his own color. And then he feels like Namjoon definitely gives him all the freedoms and support and encouragement. He probably doesn't know that Namjoon is watching very closely, but yeah, that doesn't really matter. Yeah. And then we're looking at the future possibility of connection between Namjoon and Jungkook. What's coming for them in this relationship? Okay. I want to say something about this as well. I felt like, yes, they are developing as like individual, and I felt like before, probably like, I don't know, before 2018 or before 2019, Jungkook was looking up at Namjoon a lot, and he wanted to be like Namjoon. Like he wanted to build his personality or his individuality to be like Namjoon. But then he realized that it's better. No, he realized that it is impossible, and now he's trying out all these new things, looking out for other options, like looking out to the world to like find his own colors and to paint his own canvas and to build his own person. And then the future possibility, we've got Chariot in reverse. So with the Chariot in reverse, I felt like they would continue to develop like really differently. Like they will continue to, like we will see it more and more that they are becoming like really different, almost like black and white. And why it is significant, because one, they are both Virgos, and they their birthdays are pretty close, so a lot of people would expect them to be similar, to turn out similar, to have like, I don't know, similar personality or similar traits. And also because of all this time that they've been living together, and Jungkook has been looking up to Namjoon as a role model, and he wanted to be like Namjoon. So a lot of people would expect Jungkook to be like Namjoon, and even himself would expect himself to be like Namjoon. But then in the future, with like Jungkook would find out about his own individuality, and then they will continue to grow into really different people, and it will be very distinctive. But then they were still going in the same directions, not like the same direction, but they are still pulling the same cards. So they are still pushing BTS forwards, and the differences that they show would only add to, you know, the dynamic and their exploding individuality. I can't say that. Individuality, uniqueness. Okay, uniqueness. Yeah, so their differences will only add to the uniqueness of BTS as a whole, as a group. Yeah, so that's what we have. We're looking at Namjoon's perspective on his relationship with Jungkook for now. I want to say, like, when I was shuffling these cards, it took a while for the cards to come out. So I felt like, and the fact that both of them are Virgo, I felt like these boys are not very good at exposing or expressing their emotions. It's not like speaking. They're not good at speaking their emotions. They're better at like putting it into music, or they're better at like using very subtle actions to show their feelings and emotions. And I also felt like they don't like to share a lot of their feelings and emotions to people in general. Of course, they would have some really close soulmates that they would share everything with, but then the overall impression is that they don't like to expose their emotions to people, and that's why it would be pretty hard for us to like pry into how they're thinking, kind of. So I think this will be a quick reading as well, and we would not have too much details, but we'll see. So not this. So now we're looking at how Namjoon sees his connection with Jungkook. Right, oh, so we've got the Hierophant. Very nice. This is a major arcana, so it's a very significant connection in his life. It's because of the stars, and all, you know, if we look at this, it looks like a constellation. So to me, Namjoon sees his relationship, his connection with Jungkook is like something destined. It's like fate brought them together. It's meant to be. Like, he's really appreciate this connection. He feels really grateful that this happened, and I think he's expressed that sometimes. He's said that sometimes, that this is like destiny that they've met. It is a fated connection. This connection has brought a lot of opportunity and lessons into Namjoon's life. It is something that would go down in history. if it's not humans' history, if it's not like huge history, it would be Namjoon's personal history. It is the connection that he would, if he would ever write a like biography, his own, then this would be one of the most significant segment or chapter that he would have to write about. Is very significant in his life. He has learned a lot from this connection with Jungkook. And I've never noticed this, but the man is like making the sign where you kind of like swear, I swear to God, I swear to the universe. So I felt like Namjoon kind of makes a promise, or like he kind of like, I swear that I would treasure and appreciate and protect this connection as best as I can, because I've learned so much from it, and it has given me a lot of growth and opportunities. And yeah, see, there's a key here. So this relationship with Jungkook, this connection with Jungkook, helped Namjoon to open a lot of doors. And I know that Namjoon has said this many times before, but it's interesting that we could see that from the cards. So now we're looking at Namjoon's role in his connection with Jungkook. This is awesome. I think we've got Two of Pentacles. I think this came out in a couple of readings as well, right? So the connection between BTS members are like really, really good. So Namjoon's role in this relationship is he maintains the balance. He built, I don't know that he built the walls, but he maintains the balance. He's kind of like subtly control the situation as well. Like he makes sure that it doesn't go off the track, and he makes sure that everything's alright. He will be really quick to act if something goes out of line a little bit, and he's very sensitive in picking up what's wrong, especially when they're not very good at expressing their emotions. So Namjoon is really quick at picking up if something is slightly off, and then he would act on it very promptly. But it's a very comfortable position for him to be in. Like he loves doing that. He wants to be the one who takes responsibility, and he really enjoys this connection with Jungkook, this relationship. So it's I guess it's going very well between them. It's also a Pentacles card, so again, earthy element. Yeah, it's just very easy and comfortable for them to be in this connection with each other, and it's going very well. It's very stable, it's very mutual as well, like it's give and take. Yeah, very. So the next card we're looking at, how Namjoon sees Jungkook in their connection. Right, so we've got two cards, Six of Wands and Strength. Okay, so when we look at this six, wow, we've got a lot of like fire energy. I haven't like actually looked at their both chart and like what you call it, like natal chart. But then I guess Jungkook would have a lot of fire in his chart. I'm just guessing. I'm gonna have a look later. But then yeah. So how does Namjoon sees Jungkook in their connections? So to him, to Namjoon, Jungkook is someone who's he's kind of like naive in a way. No, but Namjoon knows that Jungkook has left a lot behind to embark on this journey, on this adventure for a better future, and for something that for his passion. Like he followed his passions, and he left a lot behind. But he's very hopeful for the future, and he's very like, he's like a blank piece of, not like a blank page, waiting to be painted. So he's like, he's so eager to learn and to see life and to experience, and he has a lot of energy as well. He's very energetic. But there's something like, Namjoon definitely sees the potential and the stability in Jungkook, like the consistency. Because when I look at this, I kind of heard like stability and consistency. So Namjoon knows that Jungkook has everything it takes for him to pursue his passions, and I feel like Namjoon really admire Jungkook for doing that, for leaving a lot behind and like embarking on this journey, not knowing what really lie ahead, and at a very young age too. So yeah, and also like this, with this strength card, Namjoon knows that Jungkook has a lot of inner strength, and he has a lot of energy, and sometimes it comes in the form of anxiety and worries that can eat him up from inside. And and sometimes Jungkook would suppress those emotions. It's like he's not good at expressing his emotion as well, but sometimes he would suppress those, and then just let them eat him up from inside out, and that sometimes that worries Namjoon a little bit. But then once again, he trusts Jungkook a lot, and he has a lot of respect and admiration for someone who's like younger and always look up to him like Jungkook. Yeah, I feel like Namjoon's really appreciate Jungkook, and he thinks very highly of Jungkook. And sometimes I feel to Namjoon, Jungkook is very, sometimes he can be very stubborn, especially when it comes to like pursuing what he likes to do, and when it comes to anything that he likes. Like he could be very stubborn, defending his options, or defending his, I don't know, like favorite, if we can say that. And I feel like Namjoon would try, not forcing, but like he would try to encourage, or he would try to show Jungkook how to let out all of this negative emotions that he suppressed in himself. It's gonna be a long process, and it's also like, yeah, it's a very long and subtle process that Namjoon would want to do with Jungkook, just to help him like letting out all of these emotions that he keeps inside. So now we're looking at Jungkook's perspective. How does he see his connection with Namjoon? How does Jungkook see his connection with Namjoon? Nice. So we've got 10 of Cups. This is so cool. Then we've got Justice. So 10 of Cups is, he feels super lucky that he get to know Namjoon, and he feels really grateful for this connection. Like he loves it. He loves being in it. It's just a very like joyful and happy energy here. Like he's like a kid, like, you know, like a kid when you met someone you really like because Namjoon is essentially his idol. So and he loves Namjoon like a big brother, like a big hyung. So he's really happy in his connection with Namjoon. And I feel like when I look at this, I feel like he can become a total kid when he's with Namjoon, and he likes that. And now we've got Justice. This like Doesn't this look familiar? Black and white. Yeah, so with Justice, I felt like he looks at Namjoon and is like looking in a mirror, but then he would realize that Namjoon, like he looks, Jungkook looks, well, okay, let me rephrase this. This relationship is like a mirror to Jungkook. When he looks at Namjoon, he wants to see himself and he would see himself, but then at the same time he would see, okay, so, okay, let's do this again. So when Jungkook looks into this relationship and looks at Namjoon, he sees black and white. So the white one is the parts or the traits, characteristic, qualities that he wants to be like Namjoon, but at the same time, the black one is the ones that he doesn't have, or he knows that he would not be like that. So it's kind of like he sees how he would develop to be like Namjoon in certain aspects and in certain ways, but at the same time he also sees how he's very different from Namjoon, and I think it helps him grow a lot as well, because I feel like he spent 4 or 5 years wanting to be like Namjoon, but then he realized that they have this black and white things, and then he realized that he is a different person. He has his own individuality, and there are things from Namjoon that he would take on, and there are things that he can't replicate, and then he would have to develop his own version of it, which is like the black and white version of the cat. So yeah, so this relationship, this connection with Namjoon definitely helped Jungkook to redefine, or to actually define his own personalities and his own individuality. Yeah, so when we're looking at Jungkook's role in his connection with Namjoon, what is Jungkook's role? Wow, okay, we've got 3 cards. Nice. So we got 2 of cups, very nice. And we've got 7 of cups. Then we've got 8 of wands. Okay. So Jungkook's role in this relationship, he's the one who is more like emotional, and more energetic, and it's like when he's with Namjoon, he can be very like childish, very childlike, he can be very silly, he can be very like bratty as well, and he, well, I think I said that it's not easy for them to express their emotions, but with these 2 of cups, I also feel like, and also 7 of cups as well, like Jungkook has found a way, and he has done being shy when expressing his love for Namjoon. Like now he's more open about it, he talks about it more often, and it's like stating fact. It is fact, but sometimes like it's hard to say that, oh my god, I love you, but now as he grown and as he developed his own individuality, he was like, now I'm okay. I'm like, now I'm good. I feel good saying all this, expressing all these emotions, and like you be like, Namjoon, I love you, and I appreciate you a lot, and like it comes easy for him now. Yeah, and it was like he would be the one who was more proactive, in that sense, in that aspect. in these connections. For the Seven of Cups, yeah, the only sense I get from the Seven of Cups is like he reversed that it's like he reversed the state of being shy, so now he's not shy about saying like I love Namjoon, I idolize Namjoon is the only role model I want to be like. He's not shy about that anymore, so it reversed for him. And Two of Cups is like, yeah, he really appreciates Namjoon and he loves Namjoon so much. And sometimes this Two of Cups cards is also like a soulmate energy, but I don't feel that too much here. Oh, we have Two of Cups and Two of Pentacles, so that's interesting. It's like they're like two parallel line, so they're very similar but very different at the same time. That's interesting. Yeah, so one is very like rational and kind of like warm but rational and very stable. The other one is very emotional. Oops. Yeah, the other one is very emotional and very like childlike, so they're gonna like make up for each other. And so for the last card, we will see how Jungkook sees Namjoon in their connections. Son of Swords. I kind of didn't expect this card, but we'll see. Son of Swords is someone who's very wise, very decisive, and very like he knows what he wants and he goes straight for it. It's very visionary as well. Very straightforward with what he wants. And he's also very swift in taking action. Someone who's very rational as well. Yeah, it's like once he sets his eyes on a prize, then he would go swiftly for it. Like there's no double thinking, or there's no hesitation. So I feel like to Jungkook Namjoon is like that. Like he would take the lead and Jungkook would follow him everywhere. Like even if he dived head on to the ground, like Jungkook would follow him. That's how much he trusts Namjoon. And it's like I feel like Jungkook really admires Namjoon for making big decisions or for just like making choices very rational and very quickly. Because I feel like with Jungkook, he's the perfectionist to the point that he would just go over and over and over one thing until like forever. He spends forever on one thing, and it's also very hard for him to make a decision as well. When it comes to like choosing what he likes and what he wants to do in the future, like moving forward. So I feel like that's one of the quality of Namjoon that he really admires. And also like when you look at this in the context of this connection between them two, then I feel like Jungkook looks at Namjoon as someone who is very, he can be really kind of like sharp with his words, but he doesn't like he never means to hurt anyone, or especially when in their connection he doesn't mean to hurt Jungkook, but sometimes he has to use pretty stern words, or he has to talk pretty like like sternly for Jungkook to understand, because Jungkook can be very stubborn. So to do, like to push Jungkook, or like to keep him on the right track, then sometimes Namjoon has to be quite disciplined with him, which makes sense because Namjoon is like a big brother to him, and like the mentor, the leader. Sometimes can it feels like parents to me as well, but because it's the son of Sword, so like Jungkook looks at Namjoon like a really big brother, someone who takes so much responsibility, but they don't feel the age gap between them. Like they're still very close. Right, so I think that's all the tarot cards that we have, and then we'll just take a look at the oracles to see if there is any more details that we can get with this connection between Namjoon and Jungkook. So as I said, it's not a very detailed readings as I could already expect, and also like it's gonna be quick because they're pretty close off too. So we've got, look at the bigger picture for Moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture. Okay. And then we've got a win-win outcome is forecast full moons. We've got 2 full moon. What does this mean? Well, I think, wow, okay, I got it now. So I feel like the only way we can explain this is look at the bigger pictures. Like they're very different. They developed a different stage and phase, and they're very different. We've talked about that, but then their differences add up to the uniqueness of BTS. They together they pull BTS forwards, and that is the bigger picture for them. And it also like is expands their horizon, and also like these connections helps them on their own like spiritual journey and personal development journey as well. It expands their understandings of themselves and also of the world and of other people. That is the bigger picture for them. And also like a win-win outcome is coming, of course. It's the same energy with the Chariot or with Justice. It's like they both, and also like the 2-2 and the 2 of 2 and we have here. It's like a very equal exchange of energy in these connections. They are both winning, they're both gaining, and they're both giving equal amount of effort and care and love and emotions, like whatever it is, very equal. And they both get what they want, which is it's a very ideal kind of connection. Now look at these. We've got forgiveness. Nothing is gained by holding on to past disappointment. Past disappointment? Do we see any past disappointment in here? I don't think so. I don't see any past disappointment. Oh no. Okay, wait. No, I feel like when we talk about disappointment, I immediately think about Jungkook, because he's such a perfectionist, and he makes a choice, and then later on he would be like, oh my god, I should have done better, I should have picked the other ones. So that's what I get from these cards. So probably Namjoon would have the same thinking as well, because they both perfectionists, and this is not about their connection, but it is about their personal thinking. But I also feel like this connection helped them to realize that it's not good crying over spilled milk. Like what is past, and even if you are disappointed in the past, then you can still learn from it, and you can still move on, and you can avoid making the same mistakes in the future. So I feel like they look at each other and they learn that from this connection. It's not that it's not that they were disappointed in each other, but it is like in their personal space. We'll get one more oracle. Nice. Oh, again, we've got the crumbling. Oh, okay, I immediately get the message. What are you clinging on to? This talks a lot about like shredding your old skin to grow. I feel like it's more on Jungkook's side, but it's also on Namjoon's side as well. Like they are both constantly improving and constantly growing. So it is not easy to like forgive and forget, and it's not easy to give up on the things that don't serve us anymore moving forward. But like we just want to cling on to it because it's something that has been with us for a long time. This talks about like shredding old skins to grow. I feel like it's more on Jungkook's side because like we talked about, he looked at Namjoon like a role model to grow up to, but then now that he realized that there are things that he cannot replicate from Namjoon, he has to build his own castle, he has to build his own way, own gate, and everything. So there are certain things that I felt like he might try to imitate Namjoon over the past years, and then now he has to kind of like demolish that to build his own versions because that doesn't fit into his personality anymore. But that's just a natural process of growing up, especially like growing up while looking at someone as great as Namjoon is easy. It's easy to want to step into his steps and follow his path, but then Jungkook kind of realized that he has to walk his own path at his own pace. So now he's kind of like shredding all the things that he have gathered over the years, looking at Namjoon. Now he's building his own like kingdom. Yeah, he's walking into his own garden right here. It's nice. Namjoon would probably do the same. Yeah. But that speaks to me more about Jungkook. Okay, so we'll get one last card, just an affirmation card to see. Oh, we got the moment I realign with love, clear directions is represented to me. So this card came out a lot in some of BTS's personal readings, and also I did a reading for BTS as a group, like collectively, to see how 2020 would be for them, and this card came out. I really remember because it came out so many times. To me, it just speaks about like follow your passions and doing what you love. This love here is their love for what they're doing. Yeah, there might be like differences in how they define love, but then once again when they look, it's like this is also like mirroring, like when they look at each other or when they look at what they're doing, what they really love, and then they realize that they will realize the path that they're supposed to walk on. Also like reminds me of this as well. So yeah, I think it's really nice to wrap up this reading with this card. yeah, so I think that's all that I have for the connection between Namjoon and Jungkook. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I really did enjoy doing it. And you can, if you feel like to, you can check out other readings on my channel. And we only have 2 more to go, yay! And yeah, thank you so much for staying up until this point. And yeah, I'll see you in the next reading. Bye!